Greetings everyone. Well, I'm back now from a wonderful holiday in Rhodes and we'll have some videos coming up for you very shortly. I wanted to share the travel experiences. The holiday started with transmobility.co.uk picking us up from our home and taking us to Bournemouth Airport. But we've used them quite a lot for our holidays down to Bournemouth Airport and I've always found them very reliable. The next part of the journey was getting on the plane at Bournemouth Airport. Now Bournemouth Airport, it's quite a small airport, and although it does have an ambi lift to take your chair up to the plane, it isn't currently available. We went up the zigzag ramp all the way up to the plane, and then I had to transfer into an aisle chair and then get onto the plane and into my seat. When we got to Rhodes, the service crew that was responsible for helping us off the plane came. They did have an ambi lift, and then through the airport and out to our transport, which had been arranged by TUI. Yanis was our driver. He clamped me down well and made sure I had a seatbelt on. You can see in the video they've got the tail lift, which I was on, and really good service. So finally we got to the hotel. If you're finding this video really helpful, or you just like what we're doing, please give us a like or hit the like button. I think they say smash the like button. Oh, and please subscribe. The more subscribers, I hate saying that word, the more subscribers we've got, the better. Thank you. But at the end of the holiday, time to go back. Yanis arrived again to pick us up. Good timing, very friendly, did everything he could to help us. Got us to the airport. The only thing I would say is that he didn't put any clamps down for the chair to stop moving. I did have a seatbelt on. It felt a bit nervous knowing that the chair could move at any time. Time to get on the plane. Again, the ambi lift got us to the plane. This time it was a bit easier getting us on the plane from the aisle chair and back in our seat. Then we got back to Bournemouth Airport. Still no ambi lift for us, but the staff were wonderful and they did everything they could. We got out through Bournemouth Airport, picked up our bags, changed into my power chair, and guess what? Absolutely nothing wrong with it. So that's a whole journey without any problems. I didn't lose any pieces of the chair this time. Went really well. And out to the Transmobility driver who picked us up and got us home. So a pretty good experience all round going to and from Rhodes. Stay tuned for more videos about the hotel and parts of the island. Thanks for watching. The Atlantica Village Hotel in Rhodes is a family hotel, so it's children as well as adults. There are three parts to the hotel: the relax area, the active area and the deluxe area. We stayed in the relax area. We had an easy check-in and then it was under the tunnel and across to our room. And here's our room now. It was an accessible room. There was a small wooden ramp just to get up to the curb outside the hotel room, but you can see it's fairly spacious, and the bathroom had a wet room as well. It did have a swim-up pool outside, but there was no hoist or anything or chair to help you in and out of the pool, so it wasn't very accessible. This was the main pool area. There was also another children's pool area which was more shallow. It was fairly smooth access all around the hotel. There were a couple of restaurants around the hotel that weren't part of the deal, the all-inclusive deal, and you had to book those. But they were accessible and they were very good. There was an indoor spa area which we booked into, and I was able to go for a swim in some warm water for a couple of times on the holiday. There was a lift down to the spa area. It was quite tight, so I had to reverse in and then change my angle. But when we were down there, nice big warm pool of water. And this is me sliding like a newly built cruise liner, only less gracefully into the water. I can't really swim without the use of armbands, but it was a good chance for me to get some exercise and enjoy the warm water as well for a few days a week in the holiday. So how did accessibility stack up as a grandparent in a family hotel? Well, I was able to get almost everywhere that Kingsley was able to go. He loved going on the swings backwards and forwards, and I was always trying to make sure that I dodged him. They also had football training activities for youngsters. Now, although I would love to have got out there and scored a couple of goals, I think I'm past that now. But the fact is that it was accessible and you could get into the football training area and onto the pitch, and I was able to run around and chase Kingsley on the pitch. It was very level, it was turf, astroturf or something like that, so it was accessible to get into. They had a big water park with a pirate ship in it. It was quite a difficult slope to get up, and once up there you couldn't really, if you were in a wheelchair, you could only watch from the top, but it was nice to see Kingsley enjoying himself, and you had a great view as well. And in one of the main areas, the main reception area in the hotel, there was an accessible toilet there. You'll just be lucky enough to see inside that. It's been a while since I did this, but it was, I remember, very tight, a sink that was sticking out. But it was overall the hotel was good. They had a lift in the main reception area down to the shops on the lower ground floor, and presumably some bedrooms, although we weren't staying in that part. And here I am going into the lift. And now I'm exiting it and going towards the shop downstairs. Some areas had steps up for the children to get to the counters. It is a shame that they couldn't have actually put in lower serving areas for people in wheelchairs. So my overall verdict for the Atlantica Village Hotel, it's a good all-round family hotel, but, and where it's got accessibility around the hotel, the pools and access to the pools are not that good. There are a few shops and entertainment places outside the hotel. So here's a short pictorial guide of a trip to Lindos that was taken by my wife and my daughter on our holiday in Rhodes. I didn't go because it was a bit of a way away, and I'm also reliably informed that Lindos isn't really accessible for wheelchair users. It's a bit of a pain, and I could have done it if I wished and if I wanted to try, but I think I didn't want to go there and experience a day that I couldn't really enjoy. So here's some lovely pictures, some beautiful photographs of Lindos. If you're feeling a bit more adventurous than me, and you want to try out the accessibility, why not give it a go when you're in Rhodes? In fact, if you know anything different about Rhodes, why not leave your comments at the bottom of this video, and maybe we can have a conversation about it. Until the next time, bye for now. Well, this is part of our Rhodes experience, and today we're going to take a trip outside the hotel and go down to Columbia Beach. Columbia Beach, it's about 35 minute walk from the Atlantica Village Hotel, and that's where we're going to go today. We had a lovely walk, it was a beautiful day, and we got to the beach fairly smoothly. I think the roads are quite good when you get out onto them. I wouldn't take any chances with some of the pavements, but the roads are fairly good and fairly smooth. This looks promising. So let's take a trip down to the beach and see what we find once we get nearer the beach. And the first thing we find is a fairly steep slope down towards the sand. So for this, you've got my beautiful face as I'm trying to steer going backwards down the slope. And once you've navigated that, there's a little bit of tarmac, and then it does get a fairly bit bumpy as you get over some of the rocky bits and the sand. So now we're going towards the area where the sunbeds are. And then thankfully you've got some of the wooden tracks that you often see now on many of the beaches, which you can get the chair on and which helps you down towards the sea. So this is what the beach looks like when you get down there. There's a beautiful bar area, there's lots of tracks so you can get your wheelchair right along the beach, and there are plenty of sunbeds that you can use, and there's a charge for the sunbeds. Sadly, the restaurant bar area has steps leading up to it, so it's pretty inaccessible, but they will bring food to your sunbed for you. And what food it was! I had this power bowl of fruit and yogurt, and it was gorgeous. Oh, and we had something to drink as well. You can take the wheelchair a little bit further along and go down towards the marina, where are some boats you can hire. I doubt they're very accessible. I think the pirate ship might be accessible, but I'm not sure. And you can take a bit of a walk further along. You can see it's fairly smooth, and there's a little slope which leads you up to a church. There's a slope at first, but there are quite a lot of steps, so I'd say it was actually quite inaccessible. If you wish, you can go into the church and light a candle in memory of a loved one. Back to the beach, and there I am. I got a lift onto the sunbed, and then I got a lift down to the sea, and the sands are gorgeous. And if you're able to walk, there are some rocks you can take a walk along, and as you can see, the water is so beautifully clear. So in conclusion, I think Columbia Beach is a beautiful place to go. It's not the easiest place to go if you're a wheelchair user. The cafe isn't accessible. It is quite difficult to get down to the beach, and places like the church and that, whilst look beautiful, they're great if you can get someone to go for you. And as I said, the Verano Cafe does absolutely superb food and drink. It has got steps up to it, but they will come down and take your order if you're there on the beach on a sunbed. Please subscribe if you like this video, and please leave a comment below and tell me what you think of Columbia Beach if you've been there. Or if you haven't been there, does this video make you not want to go, or does it make you want to go? Until the next time, bye for now.